All right, this is the relearn for objective 2.1b. Basically, this objective is whether you know what collinear means and if you can determine whether points are collinear. And the idea here is that collinear means they line up in a straight line. So for number one, it says use the graph to determine which point is not, I'm going to underline that, collinear with the other three. To do that, all we have to do is graph them, draw a line through them, and if one of them doesn't land on the line, then it's not collinear. So we're going to put 6, -8 on the graph. That's right there. 1, 2 on the graph. That's right there. 3, 5. And as soon as I put that point 3, 5, I know that that's not going to be collinear with the other three. And then 0.04 is the other one. And if we were to draw a line through these points, you would notice that those three line up and the other one doesn't. So the 0.35 is not collinear with the other ones. All right. The second problem says determine a point that is collinear with points 9, -2 and -2, 9. Again, as long as we have a graph here and they fit on the graph, we might as well use that. So we can put the point 9, -2 on here. And using those in red so you can tell them different from the first one. So that's right there, 9, -2 and -2, 9 is right there. And I'm going to draw a line that'll help me determine which of the other points are on that line and which ones aren't. So between those two red dots, draw a line. And you should use a straight edge when you're doing this. But now I'm going to put the other points on. A, B, C, and D, -6, -5. I'll do that in green. There's that one. We're looking for a point that is collinear with those, so it needs to be on that line I just drew. So we can definitely cross that one out. B is 0, 7, so that one lands right on the line. I'm thinking it's B. We can check the other two, see if they are or not, but C is 3, 4. Actually, we could pick C also. But since it said determine a point, you could choose either one. And D is 7, 7. And that's way up here. It's definitely not on that line. So either B or C would be okay for this problem. All right. Number 3 says, are the points collinear? Now these points, if we had a really big graph, we could do it that way, but we need to have another system. And if points are collinear, that means they have the same slope between them because they line up. So we can use the slope to help us determine this. And if you remember, the slope, M is the letter used for slope, we can find that by subtracting the y coordinates for our rise, subtracting the x coordinates for the run, and then dividing those. So if I take these points here, these first 2 points, and I find the slope between those two, so I'm going to do -3 minus -12, and then I'm going to divide that by 6 minus 4. Well, that's equal to 9 over 2, which if I divide that is 4.5. So the slope between the first 2 points is 4.5. Now if I take the second 2 points here and find the slope between those, if I get the same value, 4.5, then I know that they all line up. So I'm going to do, for those 2 points, 24 minus -3 divided by 12 minus 6, and that is 25 divided by 6, and that is 4.5. Actually, that's 4.25, so that's pretty darn close, but not quite. But I did make a little mistake here. I did 24 minus -3 is not 25, that's 27 divided by 6, and that's 4.75, which isn't the the same. So they are not collinear. We need to get the exact same number. Okay, so my answer is no. All right, and then the last one says, what value of k makes the points collinear? Again, on the last problem, we saw that we can use the slope. So we can use the slope here again. What we could do is find the slope between these 2 points by doing negative 26 minus negative 18, and then dividing that by 6 minus 4. And that's the same as negative 26 plus 18 divided by 2, which is negative 8 divided by 2, which is negative 4. All right. Now, if the slope between the other 2 points is the same, then they're collinear. So now I do have a variable here, and I'm going to use that in my slope formula. So we want this negative 4 to equal k minus negative 26. I'm subtracting the y values over 12 minus 6. And that's equal to, I can simplify that. So I want my negative 4 to equal k minus negative 26 is the same as k plus 26 divided by 12 minus 6 is 6. Now, this looks like a good place to work backwards for my equation solving. I'm going to, since it says k plus 26 divided by 6 equals negative 4, I'm going to do negative 4 times 6 first, which is negative 24. And then I'm going to subtract 26, and that'll be my k value. And that is negative 50. All right, so if k is negative 50, then those points are collinear. All right, go ahead and practice the other break gate problems, and you're ready to take the quiz.